terrible. Yeah.
Because I'm just enamored with cats, especially tigers.
Huh.
I just think nature created like the most beautiful, terrifying thing. I mean, if a tiger wasn't real, it's right out of Avatar. I mean, with their insane colorations and their fangs and the way they can leap, their capabilities. I'm sure you've seen that video of the guy who's on the elephant and the tiger leaps through the grass and gets him while he's on the elephant. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. Because this guy is in India and he's on this elephant and he's riding this elephant and you see the grass move ahead of him and this tiger leaps like 15 feet in the air and slashes at this guy, and he's just lucky he got out of it with just getting cut up.
Oh my
Watch
God, that
this.
is a nightmare.
So the guy's on the elephant. Look at this cat.
Oh my God.
Look how it leaps. I mean, look at the size of this thing. But watch out, and all he's got is like a little stick.
Oh my God.
He's like, stop! Don't do this to me. Don't do it. Look at that thing just
Oh my
catch air.
God.
Look at it catch air. Like, oh my God, it just flies at him.
Holy shit.
And swipes and just ripped his arm apart.
That is insane.
Yeah,
And
razor
ripped his
sharp
arm apart?
Yeah, his
That's
arm's
what happened?
at the end of it, his arm's like half down.
That is insane. Oh my God. Oh.
Such a terrifying creature.
That scares me to death. When people
Yeah.
always ask what if I'm scared of the work that I do meeting, I'm much more scared of animals than I am of people.
Well, there's a place in India called the Sundarbans,
Mm-hmm.
and the problem with that area is that tigers have been actively targeting people there for over 100 years. And so I think the numbers over the last 100 years, 300,000 people there have been killed by tigers.
Oh my, that is insane.
Yeah.
The people that just live there and work, probably farmers that are
Just
working in the
villagers.
farms. Villagers.
Well, there's a bunch of things that happens. One, the typhoons come in and people die and they drown and they wind up in the river and the tigers eat them. And then two, there's an issue. 300 people and 46 tigers have been killed since 2000 in human tiger conflicts in the Sundarbans. They've done a lot to mitigate it. That's only that's since 2000. That's over the last 23 years. It used to be a lot worse. And the problem is that the water is brackish. And so the tigers are drinking salt water, and apparently it irritates them. It's like very painful. So you got these angry, pissed off tigers that actively hunt humans. And so these guys that go out to try to survey, they're always trying to figure out how many tigers are there. They have to wear these helmets that protect the back of their heads, and the helmet have a mask on the back of the head so that the tigers like to sneak up on you. And if they see your face, they're less likely to attack. They like to attack you when your back is turned. So they have these helmets with a mask on the back to confuse the tigers.
And what are they doing to try and protect the villagers now?
Guns, that's it. I mean, what are they going to do?
Right.
There's so many of them.
Right.
I mean, it's where they live, and it's like a dense jungle. So good luck finding all of them.
Oh, that's so crazy. You know, we did a story on tiger trafficking, and in season 1, I think, and we spent the night in Thailand in one of these jungles where the last remaining tigers in Thailand are. And I mean, we were camping out with hammocks, and I didn't sleep at all because we'd been spending the day. They're showing us videos of the little cameras that they have activated all throughout the park, the jungle, so that when they step on it, it'll activate, right? So you see the tigers in the wild, and they're beautiful. But then you have to sleep. Spend the night there. I didn't sleep at all. It was the worst night of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. It's an amazing animal, though.
They're
I mean,
incredible.
it's fascinating and incredible that they exist, but this desire that people have to kidnap them and bring them to America and put them in a cage so they can just point to them and stare at them.
It's crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah. It is very strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that go to these places as well to take photos. I don't get it.
When you're 20 years old and all of a sudden you're the heavyweight champion of the world, and just a few years ago you were poor, and now all of a sudden you're the king of the world.
That's really crazy. You know, so young, it's really crazy. I was unable to handle it. I wasn't expecting that. That was a really sucker punch right there.
Charlie Murphy.
That's a real sucker punch right there. I wasn't ready for that one.
Charlie Murphy told us a story, and it's animated. It's on YouTube now, of you and him coming over your house in a limousine, and you had was it a lion or a tiger?
Tiger. See, he must have thought it was a lion, but yeah, the tiger.
Dude,
It is one of the craziest fucking stories.
I always so for people that don't know, I got to hang out with you at one of my shows one time, and it was I had the best time talking to you about everything. What made you think you could get a tiger? Like, how did that even happen?
Hey, I'm in this is
Right.
really interesting. I'm in prison at the time. So I'm in prison. I'm talking to my car dealer at the time, and he has some cars that belong to a friend of mine that's both a friend of ours, and he's discussing if he doesn't pay for these cars, I'm gonna sell these cars to somebody and get some horses and stuff. I said, what, you can get horses and trade horses in for cars? Because I had a lot of cars. So I said, I'll probably get some horses too. And he said, yeah, man, you get cougars, lions, tigers. I know this guy got exotic. I said, you do? Can you get me some tigers? He said, yeah. And the guy told me, and the guy said, man, imagine how cool that be you be, because I had a bunch of fancy cars. Imagine that, man, you be in an Aston Martin or a Ferrari and you have a tiger right next to you, man. That would be so awesome. And I'm a young guy. I'm in prison. I'm saying to myself, wow, that would be cool, right? I said, yeah, get me some cubs, man. And then when I came home, I had those cubs right there waiting for me.
So you raised them as cubs?
Yeah.
Because that's how you were. Because I would see footage of you like fucking smacking them around and jumping on one of your tigers, and I was like, holy shit!
Oh no, I had them since they were babies. I had their mothers.
Wow.
Since they were babies.
Now, did it ever get? This is a crazy picture. You in your underwear with a tiger on a chain. That is one of the.
That's the
that
champ
is
right there.
That's you at peak crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Tom, what was going through my mind? I don't know what made me think about. My friend said, Mike, you can get some awesome animals. And I'm saying, really? Are you serious? He said, really? I'm going to get some horses.
Everybody does it though. That was one of the things about what's his face from Narcos.
Oh, Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
He got like a fucking zoo. Yeah.
Escobar had a whole crazy zoo. They all do it.
Once you get like that rich, you're like, just get some animals.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you want
Chapo
to fuck with
too.
some animals. You know, you think of that, let's get some animals. Fuck these people, let's get some animals. And they throw people in there with the lions and tigers, huh?
Yeah.
Get in there, you motherfucker.
It's a real common thing
That
with like
is.
super rich people. They start getting lions,
that's right.
and tigers, and shit.
Michael Jackson had all that stuff,
That's
too.
right. Like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Michael
Wonderland.
Jackson and everything. Yeah, they. Hugh
Never
Hefner
Neverland.
too.
Never
Hugh Hefner
Neverland.
had like a zoo in his backyard.
That's true,
But
yeah.
he had weird shit, like weird birds.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe he had a monkey or something.
He did have weird shit.
No, nothing dangerous.
I hung up there before at the Playboy Mansion. This is at the end of his career. It was like what was it, 10 years ago or something? It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that guy, man, what a life he lived.
Hugh?
Yeah.
Oh,
In his pajamas.
they're
Yeah,
sucking
it
his
was like,
balls and he's 80 and shit. They're like,
Oh, no.
Deep into his 80s. Deep into his 80s.
Deep, yeah.
Even his 90s.
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
He really, here's the thing. That dude lived the lifestyle he was talking about. You know, a lot of people talk shit and you're
Yeah.
like, you don't really do that. He was really doing it,
Oh,
man.
he really
Oh,
is.
if I start living that lifestyle, I'll be dark. I start getting dark, you know? You can have a little, that's just amazing.
Too much,
Yeah.
Too much.
Wait, one other.
We just watched it like quickly, flip through it, and then watch Big Cats
Big cats?
or Cat King, Tiger King.
What is that?
Holy fuck, Joe!
What is it?
This is talk about faux confidence. It's on Netflix, and it might be the most amazing show I've ever seen. It's about people who own big cats like tigers but the whole thing is
Jesus.
about petting cubs, cub petting.
You got to pet them when they're real young and then they stay cool with you?
Whoa, no. So these guys make a living off cub petting. So they bring the cubs around, everyone wants a cub.
Oh,
and then
right.
what happens is the cubs grow up and then they end up with big fucking cats.
Right.
And it is, I won't talk to you about it. I'll let you watch it and enjoy it with someone who's like, once you've seen it, there's no reason for me to tell you about it.
Here's
It's
the
fucking
thing,
amazing.
man. Even if you treat your cat really, really well, you got him in a cage. That cat does not want to be in a fucking cage.
No shit.
They don't want to be in a cage.
We got a code red. Someone ripped off Brenda's arm. It is,
Someone ripped off someone's arm?
Joe, you got to watch it.
Bro.
It is
He's 187 cats on his Oklahoma property.
Oh, my God.
100.
50 acres or something like maybe.
Oh, my
not a lot.
God.
Dude, it is.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to save it
Plus
for
tips.
when you watch it. And
Somebody
then you can.
ripped someone's arm off? Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's what
She went back
happens.
to work 7 days later.
Oh, my God. With
Savage,
no arm?
with no fucking arm.
So now she has a stump.
Little stump.
Oh, my God. That's
Still working
so
with big cats.
Crazy. That is so crazy. Can you imagine if they just started eating part of you and you're like, I still got a leg. I get this part of my foot.
The one guy found the job off Craigslist. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. Fuck it. Let's do it.
If you had a job like that, people are going to sign up. Like, no matter what it is.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you had a job to go out and castrate wolves, there's going to be guys that are like, I think I can do it.
By the way, we haven't even gotten to the fucking. That's not even the crazy part. When you get into these guys' lifestyles, this guy married one. First of all, he's gay. Doesn't look gay. Married one dude, and then they brought in another dude. They have a throuple. That's not the crazy one. The crazy one's the guy that lives in South Carolina that's got fucking 9 wives who he grooms. Joe, this is one like.
Really?
Look, everyone, my special Hey Big Boys on Netflix, but fucking watch this show first.
Wow, that's strong praise.
It is
Tiger King. I'm writing that down. I'm putting it on my phone.
Me and the girls watched Hey Big Boy, and it was funny. We giggled. We talked through whatever. Like at the end credits, I put like all the stuff that's from. I put Isla's period party cake. I put in the credits. I put like her test. My dad howling like an owl, and then Big Cats comes on. Or Big King. What's it called?
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
That it?
And within 15 seconds, George and Isla are like, "All right, everyone's up. We found our show."
It's that good.
It's fucking good.
God,
It's good.
There's something about people and giant, crazy animals. People that want to keep those animals as pets. Like there's this Russian dude, I think, who has a polar bear and he swims with the polar bear. Have you ever seen it?
No.
He's in a swimming pool with a polar bear. He's like hanging out with the thing and cuddling with it. And I was like, what in the fuck are you doing, man?
But you don't identify with that a little bit? Because I do. I definitely do. As a dude with big dogs.
But I think it's cool, to watch because it's not killing him. It's like, look at it. It's hugging him. It's kissing him.
Until it decides not to.
Well, I think if you keep bears, I think are a different animal because if you keep bears really well fed, they're not just predators. They're omnivores, right? So if you keep bears really well fed, they're probably pretty chill. And I wonder if bears are like people. Like I think if you feed people only vegetables, I really believe this, they probably get less aggressive. Because I think your body probably doesn't think you need to be chasing things and killing things because you're not eating animal protein. So your body's like, oh, we can just relax and stroll and just pick berries and eat grasses and stuff. You know what? I think if you did the same thing to a bear, maybe if you just gave the bear like apple pies and
Look at that bear get out of a pool.
Yeah. Bro, he's so big.
Here's the problem is I would love one.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to have one for a real good reason. Because there's a lot of people that shouldn't have fucking dogs, man. You've seen bad dogs, and people have bad dogs.
There's a lot of people that shouldn't have dogs, especially in L.A.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that they don't train their dogs well, and their dogs are like really aggressive, and they jump up on people. And, imagine if it was a bear that did that. Just the responsibility. Look at the length of its neck. It's so crazy. They have such long necks. But what it is, it's the animal that it is. It seems ridiculous. You should be able to have that in your backyard. Like that's a polar bear. I don't know where that guy lives. Where is that? Does it say?
Oh, it's got to be Ohio, Oklahoma, one of those cities. Ohio.
Do you remember
seems
the
like
one guy who shot himself and let all the animals out?
Yeah, they talk about that on the fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
That's part of the reason that it's illegal to have fucking big cats in Ohio.
I never thought about it. That makes sense.
I love Texas.
Yeah, it's nice.
What part do you live in?
I'm in New Braunfels, which is right outside of San Antonio.
Oh, nice. I've never been to San Antonio.
It's nice, man. San Antonio is a cool city. We're actually right between Austin and San Antonio.
Oh, that's great.
So it's perfect.
I heard there's like that Riverwalk area. Supposed to be dope.
That's cool. I mean, that's like the tourist thing, It's like it's what they do. It's like going to see the Hollywood sign. But like, there's if you want to have a good time, just let me know when you come to Texas, and we'll go do some redneck shit.
Well, my friend John Dudley was just there with the Black Rifle Coffee guys.
Yeah.
And they went to some ranch that's just outside of San Antonio that the fucking astronauts used to go to. He said there's these photos of Neil Armstrong with a fucking deer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Texas is a uniquely American place. Like I think when other people think of America, they really think of Texas.
Most people. I mean, if they're thinking America, they'll say that it'll be Texas. But if it's like Hollywood, they'll say California.
Right.
Those are the two. Some people, like every once in a while, think New York.
But I think when people think about like crazy gun-toting, screaming at football, like that's Texas.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah,
100%.
Driving
proud
trucks.
of it too.
Yeah, proud of it.
Damn sure.
Well, it's a fun place.
Yeah. A lot of fun, a lot less regulations, a lot more self accountability. You know?
Yeah. Well, they have fucking zebras and giraffes and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're loose.
Yeah.
Running around.
I work with just became accredited zoo that works a lot with confiscated animals. Like they've got hundreds of animals that basically some redneck was like, oh, I'm gonna have a white lion, right? Can't take care of it, so they take it.
There's these folks who they got high in this abandoned house, and they were in the house in Texas, and they're wandering around this house smoking weed, and they walked into a room with a fucking tiger in a cage.
Oh my god!
They called the police, and they had the police come and rescue this fucking tiger. But this was in an abandoned house.
Oh shit! The
Yeah.
house. Oh my god!
Yeah, there's I mean, they weren't sure. Like, here, you find it there? Oh, you got these goddamn pop-up ads. They're getting craftier and craftier with these pop-ups.
And then you don't know if like clicking exit's gonna download something nowadays.
Texas man, look at this. Texas man enters abandoned home to smoke weed, finds tiger instead.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, he thought he was hallucinating.
Oh man.
He said it was in a rinky-dink cage in the home's garage. But it's weird when you treat animals like property, you know, when you can just do whatever you want with them. And that's how
fucked up.
Texas views exotics. Anything that's not like if you have white-tailed deer in Texas, they have pretty liberal tags. Like you can shoot a good number of them, but you have to get tags.
Right.
But if you have like a black buck, which is a African animal,
Yeah.
or a Nilgai or something like that, you shoot as many as you want.
Right.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. You sell them to your friends.
Yes.
What does it say? It was secured only with a screwdriver and a nylon strap.
Jesus Christ. I hope this guy got some kind of fucking punishment. The guy who owned the fucking house.
Yeah.
That's a dick move, man.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful tiger.
Yeah, there's something really fucked up about seeing tigers locked up. I don't even like
Yeah.
the fact that they feed them. I mean, I feel like you
They
should
need
just
to hunt.
let something loose in there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. But from
Keep
what
that
I
party
was
rolling.
told, yeah, exactly. What I was told was that was just not PC. Like it wasn't acceptable.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the footage of when the U.S. soldiers overtook Baghdad? They had zoos in Baghdad, and what they would do is the lions knew it was happening, so they would let these goats out, and these goats would be wandering around, and then they would open the door, and the lions would sprint because they knew exactly because it was feeding time. So these goats had no idea. They let the goats out, and the goats would be like, "Oh, just hanging out, being a goat," and then they would open up this fucking door, and U.S. soldiers filmed it. And these lions just make this fucking mad sprint to these goats and just maul them. And that's how they ate.
People got pissed. I'm
People
sure.
shouldn't be pissed. That's what it
That's
is.
life, yeah.
If you watch a fucking, you go and see a parrot eating seeds. Well, that's what it eats.
Right.
You know, maybe you really identify with seeds, and you feel like that's brutal murder of seeds.
Yeah.
But that lion wants to do that. That's what makes them a lion. It makes them happy.
And it's what they have to do, you know? It's like there's a lot more people getting publicity, not publicity, but there's a lot more people showing that side of things at least. We were talking about right before we came on, there's this Instagram page called Nature is Metal.
Yes, I love that page.
Fucking badass, isn't
He got
it?
taken down for a while. He got back up, but he has one of the very best pages.
But
on
how can you
Instagram.
take it down? That's all. He didn't.
Yes.
He had nothing to do with any of those situations. It's not like he had some kind of ulterior motive and came in and put these animals in the situation. That's just reality.
Did you have something to do with looking for the Tasmanian tiger?
Yeah, I did.
No. What do you think?
I think of all the extinct animals that have gone extinct at the hand of man, given the range, I don't know if you know this, but the Tasmanian tiger at one point ranged from Papua New Guinea all the way down to Tasmania. So not just the island of Tasmania, but thousands, tens of thousands of miles. I think given the range, the frequency of sightings, the amount of untouched habitat in Australia and Tasmania and Papua New Guinea, where they just found a new dog species, by the way.
They did?
Yeah, the Highland dog in New Guinea, maybe a year ago now. Incredible looking animal. Like, absolutely. Could there be a very small remnant population of thylacine, Tasmanian tiger, hiding out in an isolated pocket of habitat? I totally think it's possible.
And these sightings, are they coming from credible sources?
So I did one expedition. I've done 2 expeditions looking for thylacine, and one of them I was literally talking to the man who is the head park ranger for like the entire North Queensland. So he's a scientist by trade, a biologist by degree, and he says I saw 4 of them.
Whoa.
You know, so this isn't like some crackpot drunk who's like, yeah, they're here. You know, this is a guy who is, like myself, a scientist, a biologist, and spends his life in the bush. He knows every animal in that area, and he goes, I saw 4 of them.
Wow.
So, like, how do you not, like, I get goosebumps talking about it, because how do you not, like, take that as credible?
No, that's about as credible as it gets. Whoa, look at that cool looking dog.
There it is.
What a freaky looking. The world's rarest and most ancient dog has been rediscovered in the wild. So this New Guinea Highland dog was thought to be extinct. Is that the idea?
That's right. Yep.
Wow. So this thylacine, this area is where they are. Has there been a concerted effort to find these things?
Sort of. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I would say the thylacine is like the icon of animals coming back from extinction for Australia, right? It's kind of like everybody knows about it in Australia. They all care about it. But where these efforts are is like outside of Sydney, or, you know what I mean? It's close to home. So there hasn't been a lot of expeditions really deep in to look for them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. So there's so much belief that the animal is still out there that the it's the university in Cairns. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. The university itself put money towards funding to find it. So when you have a credible institution like a university going, here's money, go and find this thing, you've got to think, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but you've got to think they have some intel that says, look, we're not wasting our money to look for something that's not there. We've heard something, we've seen something, we caught something on a trail camera, let's prove it. And so I actually teamed up with...
They caught something on a trail camera.
Hard to say, but what they did do is fund this expedition. So myself and the university, who's still ongoing with the research, went and looked in this area in North Queensland where I went.
And how far deep did you go in?
1,200 miles.
1,200 miles?
Yep. It took 14 hours driving and then hiking from there.
Whoa.
Yeah, 14 hours on dirt roads.
Because this is the area where they've been sighted the most numerous?
This is where that sighting that I was talking about came from the biologist, as well as I think 4 other sightings. The community up there is a place called Portland Roads. You could look it up. I think it's 12 people, and
wow,
live totally, not like the Amazon off the grid, but off the grid. You know, it's all like solar energy and build it yourself. There's no power lines, blah, blah, blah. So it's just this small group of kind of like people in the middle of nowhere, and almost everybody in that community has seen them. So that's where we based it out of, and then went deep from there.
Almost everyone in the community. Mm-hmm. And no one's taken a photograph. Do they have cameras?
Everybody's got a cell phone kind of thing, but it's like, it's always the same story where it's like, yeah, it was there, it was late at night. By the time I reached in my pocket, it had gone off. Except for the biologist I was telling you about, who said it ran around with his dogs.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's out camping and he's like, oh, there's this red eye shine, and my dog goes nuts and runs over there. And then there's 4 thylacine jumping around with my dog, like for like 15 minutes. And he's like, I'm trying to get a picture, and you know, it's like 300 yards away. It's in the dark and without the flashlight and the phone, and like,
fuck.
Yeah. It's
so
like,
it's basically 100% that this thing's alive.
I mean, as a scientist, you can never put that number, but to me, yes.
Sure.
That's why I've done 2 expeditions, and I plan on doing more. I feel it's out there.
Melanie Griffith? Like her mom, Tippy
whole
Hendren, was
family
into
lived with
wild
lions.
animals, lions,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I think Melanie Griffith got bit or scratched as a child.
Oh, did she
Yeah, in
really?
her early teens or something like
that's
that.
terrifying.
She had to have, facial reconstructive surgery.
No, really?
I believe so.
Whoa, I never heard that.
There's a
I
movie
knew
that
she
they
lived
shot.
with them.
Like they shot,
Yeah.
I forget the name of the movie, but they shot like the movie of them interacting with like a documentary about
Yeah.
them living with big cats.
Yeah, when you watch the video online, it doesn't even look real. You're like, wait a minute. Is that real? That's really Melanie Griffin with lions and tigers and shit?
Yeah.
How many different cats did they have? There was a lot, right? I want to say there was 5.
It's the kind of thing you just ask people. Like, how many cats? How many big
You could
cats
ask Jamie.
the Tippy
Jamie's-
Hendren and the Griffith said?
I'm looking at the article right now.
Jamie's
It
a
just
wizard
doesn't
with
say
that
it right
Google.
away.
Pull it up so we can see the photos. It's so preposterous. Look at that.
Look, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy. She's
But look how
spitting-
fun that looks. Shouldn't that be the way life is?
You imagine if you were a burglar and you broke into that fucking house? Holy shit, what a mistake. You imagine you break into a house and you see a 600-pound African male lion just looking at you with that gigantic head of death. Fuck, man.
The bizarre tale of Melanie Griffith and her pet lion. Did they talk about the attack?
That's what I was looking for.
But look at her spitting
It
water
says-
into the big
It
cat's
says no
mouth.
one in the family was ever injured by the lion.
No one? Well, by that lion.
By that one. Yeah. By Neil.
But Neil certainly could have killed any of them at a moment's notice. At one point, he did attack Ron Oxley, his owner, during a dinner party at his home. Fuck all of that.
After Neil, the family went on to adopt numerous big cats, which resulted in a series of serious injuries.
Oh.
Now 57 years old, Melanie has learned from the experience and runs a sanctuary.
She runs a sanctuary for 32 big cats. Oh my God, look at that thing on the desk. That is so insane. First of all, doesn't that thing need exercise just to keep it shit together? Look at the size of that fucker.
How much do you think you got to feed that guy a
A
day?
lot, dude, and only meat. They're obligate carnivores. You know, they're not like a dog. You
Look
could
at
get-
how tall he is in the
It's a
fridge.
huge animal, man.
That's the point where I'm like, I'm not working here anymore.
It's just laying around their house. Look at the fucking muscles on that thing.
And do you think they're like cats? Like, will they only shit where they're supposed to shit? You imagine a
They
cat
shit
like
wherever
that
they
shits wherever he
want.
wants. Yeah.
The thing about the size of this cat, I mean, it's
That's
so,
crazy.
It's so big. It must be a thrill to be around something that could just kill you at any moment. And apparently lions in particular are pretty cool with people. Yeah, that's nuts. They're playing. The lion has her by the leg. She's jumping into the pool and it's fake biting her. Fuck all of that. Fuck everything about that picture.
Put that on a T-shirt with those words.
Look at
Fuck
her right
all of
there.
this.
Look at her.
They
This
were
Melanie.
friends, dude. They were buddies. Look how
Dude.
young she looked.
She looks.
She's a
well,
kid. She's
a
in her
kid.
teens at this
And
point.
she has a giant lion in her yard.
Find the thing.
They're cooler
Is
with
there
people
a-
apparently than tigers. Tigers are a little sketchier. Tigers
Meaning-
are a little sketchier.
So, like, you'd have an easier time
Owning a lion.
than you would a tiger.
Yeah, I'm talking way out of school. But what I believe is the case is that male lions are mostly there to protect the pride. They're mostly there to.
Yeah, they're not the hunters,
They're
right?
they're the bigger ones. The females do all the hunting. Look at the size of that female. Oh my God!
Right,
What's
it's
going on
attacking her
there?
in the movie.
It's attacking her
It's
in the movie.
Yeah, that's what. That's what the link is.
Watch
It's
this
watching
close
happen.
call below. So it's biting her?
I mean, it's got her mouth around the ribs.
Is it actually hurting her?
She doesn't look happy. I'm not showing it online.
Whoa,
because
this
it's
is
a movie.
crazy. All right, this is fucked up. So this was in the movie. They were freaking out that the lion was biting somebody.
Yeah, it says the father refused to yell cut.
Are
Oh
you?
my
This
God.
is real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No blood was drawn, and the lion grabbed her hair and pulled her back.
So the lion was just fucking with her.
But
But it's dangerous.
She was once clawed to the face during
That-
the filming that required reconstructive surgery.
That's the story
Jesus.
that I'd heard. Is she was clawed to the
Jesus,
face.
fuck, they're so irresponsible. And you know, there's several lions in this house. You know, it's not just one. So the lions are
in
just
their house.
Yeah, the lions are just running shit.
And I think they picked them. They were lions that came from like circuses and shit.
Spent $17 million on the movie, and it brought back 2.
Oh, it's
On
bargain.
Roar,
Yeah.
Well, after this
1970
podcast, get ready for another 50 bucks.
and that's 17. How much?
1971. when the-
$17 million in 1971.
Yeah.
This is a nice way to launder cocaine money, son. That's what's going on
But
there.
what is that today? Like $80 million?
That's $1 billion trillion. What I was saying was, I think what happens is that lions, the male lions, don't hunt. They usually just eat the kill that the female lions hunt. They're doing all the hunting. But with tigers, the male lions hunt. Like they all hunt, and they don't operate in packs. You know, they're not like
They're independent, they're rogue.
Yeah, they're not. They don't operate the same way lions do. They don't have a pride. You know, I think tigers are pretty much on their own. You know, I think the females take care of the cubs as long as they can, but I don't think they have these big. I could be wrong. Find out if I'm wrong. But I don't think tigers operate in like that kind of a group.
In a world where, like, I've got a miniature dachshund, that means that somebody genetically made that dog smaller, right?
Well, when you say genetically, they're not doing it through a laboratory. They're doing it through
Breeding.
selective breeding,
Okay.
and it's remarkably effective. And they
Can you do that? I just needed that to get to this point. Can you do that with a tiger,
Yes.
a baby tiger?
Yes.
So
you
could you?
That's what happened. All house cats have come from some kind of wild cat that we turned into a domestic cat. And there's a bunch of different varieties of cats, right? The difference between cats and dogs is that all dogs come from wolves. All of them.
Every one of them.
Every dog started as a wolf. Tigers do not live in permanent groups like lions do. For the most part, they live solitary lives except when females are raising cubs. Although rarely seen, the term for a group of tigers is a streak. Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
dope word.
That is a streak of tigers, a murder of crows. That's pretty
Yeah,
hot.
That's dope.
My
So I
mom
was-
used to
I
call
was
me
right.
Tiger when I was a kid. Now I could tell her, Mom, if there was another one, we'd be a streak of tigers.
Tigers fuck things up, man. They all fuck things up. All the males hunt, and they're a fast fucking animal, man. Oh, what is this guy?
Movie. It's on YouTube.
He
can
got
find the
fucked
movie.
up
No,
in
this
this
is that movie.
movie?
This is
Roar.
also Roar.
This is Roar. This is the whole movie. It's on YouTube if you look.
Oh,
I just randomly clicked to a spot where they happen
What-
to be
And,
attacking.
and the
him.
movie is about how they have these big what the fuck?
This seems like an insane movie. It's called The Most Dangerous Movie Ever Made.
oh my God, this guy's an idiot.
And when you said they said
Jesus,
the
look at these
father didn't
lions.
yell cut, that was Melanie Griffith's
That
dad
the
was
scene.
directing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Dude, this is crazy. These lions are fighting for dominance, and this guy is running around in between them while they're filming a shitty movie. So crazy. Look at it. It's like, fuck you, bitch. Stay out of my business.
Oh
Stay
my
out of
God!
business.
The lion just wanted him to know that that little tree branch was not going to stop him.
Jesus Christ, this is so
What's with the
they're
fucking
cut
blood?
up because they're cutting each other up, man. They're biting each other and fucking each other up. It's what they do, man.
And this was a movie that was meant to show how.
Stupid the guy
What
who made
does
the
it
movie
say?
is.
Roar is a 1981 American adventure exploitation film, written and directed by Noel Marshall, produced and starring Marshall and his then wife Tippi Hedren, co-starring Hedren's real-life daughter Melanie Griffith and Marshall's real-life sons John and Jerry.
Oh, they were a Brady Bunch type family.
The film follows a family who are attacked by a range of ravening jungle animals at the secluded home of their keeper. I always thought this was a documentary. They were literally making a movie with fucking real lions about how lions were attacking people.
70 members of its cast and crew being injured by the many predatory animals used in the film, including its main stars, sustaining life-threatening injuries ranging from bone fractures to scalpings and gangrene. Much of the footage capturing the injuries was included in the final cut of the film, resulting in real blood on screen. It has been considered the most dangerous film shoot in history.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
we need to do a fight companion.
They had
with this-
tigers as well?
Oh my God, they had leopards or jaguars. Were those jaguars or leopards? Do you know the difference?
Dude, look at the tiger. They
I
just
know one lives
look
in a
at
different
him.
part of the world, but
He just jumped in the boat.
yeah, congratulations.
They
Tiger.
they hit him in the fucking face.
Well, they have to. I think you have to
Panther.
get it to think who's boss.
Is that a panther?
Of course it
Two
is.
of 'em.
Fuck all this. What are these people doing? You're in a
all
boat with a
this.
tiger, and then now the boat's sinking. You fuck. You fuckity fuck.
This is Life of Pi.
Oh my God, look at that thing. It's so big.
All right, we gotta save it for the companion.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Jesus. So what we'll do is one day we'll do a fight companion. Put that movie on,
Fight companion.
save it.
Download it.
Yeah, we'll do a.
This week we're doing Roar.
Yeah, we'll do Roar. Do you think we get in trouble for that? Could we get in trouble for a fight companion for Roar?
Now there's people that do things like this.
Yeah, no, totally. It's what is it considered? It's commentary. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
that
reviewing it.
Needs to be seen. That needs to be heard.
I'm completely educated. I thought it was a documentary,
Me too.
but they're actually they were trying to make a fiction narrative.
I didn't even know there was a documentary. I just knew that she had lived with lions, and I'd seen it in a magazine article or something. Or
and that's not even a real dad. That's her stepdad.
Her stepdad was fucking crazy.
Could you imagine your
Don't show
stepdad's
me
like,
anything, Jamie. Don't
get in
you
there
do
with the
this.
lion.
Don't you put that evil on me, Jamie. Oh my God.
What is
Roar
it?
the movie. Look at
Walk
all
in
the
the room,
cats in the room with her.
I don't know how many. I can't
Dude,
count them.
fuck all that. Fuck all that. These
And
people
they're-
are crazy.
And I'm sure the cats are like confused as fuck by the rolling cameras as well.
Yeah.
Being like, what is this all about?
Yeah, they're horrible. That's the cleanup crew for the world. That's what cats are. They're out there taking out as many of those fucking zebras or water buffalo or whatever they can. And so that's what they want to do all the time. And if you're just feeding them and then you just have them in a yard, they don't even do anything. Like you got to exercise the fuck out of those girls to keep them from just that kill lust that's in their body. Like they evolved over millions of years to get to this point where they're this enormous, hulking, supernaturally powerful animal that kills things with its face. And you just take that away from them. It's, no, you're going to be in the pool with us. You're going to be in our movie. We're going to start off in this boat. Come on, hop in the boat.
Now pretend to fight. And they're like, what? Pretend? Rah!
And this cat is like, when the fuck do the antelope show up so I can start jacking fools?
Would you agree that since you do more outdoorsy activity than me, i.e. running, i.e. you've gone hunting and stuff like that, your chances of being eaten alive are far greater than mine?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like surfers. I'm in a 0% chance in most of my life of getting eaten by a shark. But I have friends who are surfers who surf all the time, and they fucking love it, and they're willing to roll that dice because they like surfing that much. And I'm like, you can't get bit by a shark if you don't go in the ocean.
Yeah.
And they're like,
We've got
worth
this
it."
shark thing figured out and defeated. Just don't go in the ocean.
They say it's worth it.
I got to tell you, man, like there's a bunch of bad ways to die, but I always felt like the most indignity I would ever feel in death was if I was something else's food.
Yeah.
It's one thing if I'm like, my body goes into the earth and fucking the worms and the grass and shit like that. But to be someone's fucking meal is it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Your life for their meal of the moment. And they're just going to shit you out in a couple hours. And that's why I think it's hard for humans to get their head around being eaten by something, because they're like, no, I'm too special. And then they're just going to poop me out. But that would be the indignity, man. It's like, fuck, they ate me to stay alive, I guess. But then it's not like I sustained them forever. Like I sustained them for a couple fucking hours and they shit me out.
Yeah. Well, that is how it works, right?
Yeah.
It's very disturbing seeing images of humans that have been eaten by animals.
I've never seen any, and I don't want to.
You don't want to.
I saw this finger starting to move toward a keyboard. I'm like, no.
Classic one of a body that they found that bears had eaten.
And?
Oh, it was horrific. It's just crazy to look at.
Does it even look human anymore?
I mean, you know what it is because it was still wearing sneakers and it still had like half of its pants on, and it's still like, you know the one? Yeah. You could see the thigh bone. I mean, the meat from the bone had been completely stripped off, and it was just nothing but the thigh bone. And it's just horrific. You got to realize, like, those things, man, when they get a hold of you, the amount of power that a bear could generate, like especially a grizzly bear. My friend John saw a grizzly bear kill a moose by swatted it with its paw and broke its back. A moose. I mean,
second deadliest animal on the planet.
It is a big. Is it really?
Yeah, right after the
Second
hippo.
deadliest?
Isn't that crazy? Nobody thinks
moose?
about it because when you think about the moose, you're like, oh, hey, Rocky, watch me pull a
Is that
rabbit
really
out of my
true?
head. Hippo is the most dangerous animal to man on the planet.
In terms of like how many people get killed.
Mammal. The second is the moose.
Wow.
Part of the deer family.
That's crazy.
I mean, there have been times when I ran out of food, and I've literally tracked wolves and taken food away from them when they've killed caribou.
What?
Yeah.
How many wolves were there?
One time there was a lone wolf that got a caribou just ahead of me. He didn't have time to do anything except gut it for me. Literally. That's what they start eating is the guts. And he had opened up its belly and pulled the guts out, and the whole caribou was there.
Wow.
What happened that day? I was really hungry. We had run out of food. I was out there with my ex-wife, and we had
And your kids?
had one baby at the time.
So you're out there with a baby and you don't have any
Yeah.
food.
The baby was fine. She was nursing.
Yeah, but your wife doesn't have any food.
Yeah. Well, we always had something to eat, just not enough. But I never, ever have been out there when I didn't have something to eat every single day. Some days it was just one rabbit. Some days it was just one ptarmigan, which is very little food. But I've always been able to get something to eat. But this particular year, it was kind of early on. This was the winter 2006, 2007. I hadn't been out there that long. Made a miscalculation. I was counting on caribou showing up because so far I'd always seen a lot of caribou in the winter. That winter they didn't come. If I had known, I could have prevented the situation. But we had taken one moose in the fall. I'd killed a moose in September. And I thought, man, we got 500 pounds of meat. We're set. The caribou will come later in the winter. But it's amazing how much meat you can eat when you're not eating much of anything else. And all that I was eating at that time really was meat, fat, and maybe a cup of berries a day, that I had gathered in the fall and froze. So the moose, we went through that pretty fast. Found out that 2 adults can eat a large bull moose in 3 months if that's all you got to eat.
Wow.
I've eaten by myself a large bull moose in 6 months. Yeah.
For people that don't know, a large bull moose is about 2,000 pounds.
I don't think they're quite that big, but they're probably 1,500 pounds. You probably get 500 pounds
So
of
like
meat.
a Yukon moose is like 2,000 pounds?
People. people
exaggerate
these
do
things.
they?
Oh, they exaggerate a lot of things, Joe.
So, but a big
heard
one,
so
like
many.
a 60-inch bull, how much is that?
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
actually what that bull was. It was about 60-inch bull.
Wow.
That one was actually 57, if I remember right. I don't pay too much attention to the exact measurements, but
So
I think
somewhere in the range of 1,500 pounds, which is like what? How many pounds of meat you think that is?
I would guess that you probably are getting 500-600 pounds of meat out of there.
Are you taking the femurs and getting bone marrow out of them and doing all that jazz
Oh
too?
yeah, oh yeah. That's a really important part of my diet when I'm living off an animal is I like variety, and the animal has a ton of variety in it. One caribou will give you so many different options in terms of food if you know how to utilize it. I've eaten everything out of a caribou except the poop, literally. You can even eat part of the antlers when they're
Really?
Oh yeah, in the spring when they're growing, they're soft on the ends. It's like a pickle. You skin them, you take the velvet off. In the last inch or two, it's got the consistency of a pickle. They're great.
Really? You eat it raw?
Yeah. I ate a lot of animals raw. I ate a lot of parts of a caribou raw. But anyway, you get a lot of variety because you eat all the organs, you eat the eyes, you eat the brain, you eat the liver.
You eat the brain?
kidney. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Spinal cord.
Whoa.
Like I said, I've eaten everything except the poop out of a caribou, literally. I mean, you can even, the cartilage, you can get all kinds of variety, and it's nutritious, it's good for you. I mean, I learned about all this from the old people that used to eat this way. I would have been reluctant to eat certain things if I hadn't been educated by other people that you can do this. I was talking to this 90-year-old woman in Fairbanks, and I asked her, so you eat the brains? Because I'm thinking, mad cow disease,
Right.
prions.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, the brains are great. And then I did a little research. They've never found prionic disease in Alaska and any of the animals up there. So I was like, okay, I can start eating the brains.
That's an issue that's happening more and more here in the lower 48. You're getting a lot of CWD, which is another prion disease. Very scary stuff. It's there's parts of Wisconsin where my friend Doug Duran lives, where 50% of the deer they test positive for CWD.
Yeah.
Which is a real fatal disease and hasn't made the jump to humans yet, but they're very concerned.
And, this is coming from the deer. Like you said, there's a lot of deer. And where deer and moose live together, the moose get it. We don't have any deer. So other than moose and caribou, that's why we don't have the prionic disease.
You have no deer up there at all?
Well, moose are a deer.
A type of
caribou
deer.
are a deer, but we don't have anything other than moose and
You don't
caribou.
have blacktail, which would
Those
be-
are much further south. Down in southeast Alaska, I don't know their exact range, but nowhere near where I am.
That's interesting.
It's too harsh of a country. It doesn't not the right habitat.
Wow. So when you take this caribou away from the wolf, how does that go down?
What happened that day was, thanks for reminding me, I'd forgotten that story. That's what we were talking about. I had a trail up the mountain. There's a lot of snow in the winter, 2-3 feet of snow. So you got to have packed trails to walk efficiently, pack them down with snowshoes and stuff, and pretty much follow the same routes. I'm following my trail to go up the mountain looking for food that day, and I came on. There were no caribou around. I couldn't find a caribou anywhere. I didn't see caribou track for like months. They're migratory. And if they happen to migrate 10 miles away, I'm not going to see them. That's out of my range. I come on a track of one caribou. It's wounded, it's bleeding, it's being chased by one wolf. And it crosses my trail. So I start chasing him. It was real fresh. It was snowing out, and I could tell that this has just happened. This injured caribou, this wolf is chasing it up this mountain. They're right ahead of me. I got to follow this. So
You have a rifle?
yeah, my rifle is my constant companion. I mean, that rifle goes just about everywhere I go up there. So I start just jogging up the mountain as fast as I can go. It's a 5,000-foot mountain, and this caribou is wounded pretty badly. He's bleeding almost continuously, And it's clear to me that if he doesn't make it over the top of that mountain, this wolf's going to get him. I mean, going down the other side, I don't know, but this wolf has a good chance of getting this caribou. This is usually the way they hunt. They injure them, and it takes time. It's not like they just run up and knock them down,
Usually hamstring them, right?
Yeah, they'll jump on their back. I see a lot of them injured on the big muscle right here on the back leg. Is that what you mean, the hamstring?
Yeah.
Right in here.
Yeah.
yeah, they'll get them in there. You find a lot of caribou injured real bad that get away. They get away with big pieces of hide ripped off of them. I killed a caribou once that only had 2 good legs. It couldn't even walk anymore.
Wow.
But anyway, I start chasing them up the hill. They're kind of zigzagging up the hill. And this caribou obviously doesn't know this mountain. It doesn't know where it's going. It heads in a direction where there's some cliffs on the other side of this ridge. And I'm getting real hopeful at this point. And I still haven't seen them. They're ahead of me on the mountain. And sure enough, the tracks come right up to the edge of the cliff, both the caribou and the wolf, and go right over the top of the cliff. And I'm like, there's no way that caribou survived getting down. Because I know this mountain like the back of my hand. And I just sat down there and I listened. And I sat there at the top of the cliff. And sure enough, it's real quiet out there in the winter. The Arctic is just like dead silent. And I start hearing the crunching in the snow of this wolf. And he's down in the ravine, and he knows I'm up there. He can sense that I'm up there at the top of the cliff. And he wants to bug out of there at that point. And he just walked up the other side of the ravine. I'm looking across the ravine, and I see the wolf going up. And I know, hey, that caribou's down in that ravine somewhere.
So he's just getting away from you.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah,
already
he's-
know you by then? Because you had shot quite a few wolves, right? You
I
had
trapped a few. I shot a few, not tons, but
Well, you
yeah,
shot a few on the show. That one time on the lake where it's frozen and
Yeah, I didn't have a cameraman with me. That was actually, that story was told on the show, and I documented it a little bit as much as I could with my little camera at the time. That day I shot 3 wolves, but that was a very unusual situation. Those wolves were actually trying to get me, which is almost unheard of. But this was years before that. This wolf, and like almost every other wolf encounter I've ever had, the wolf wants nothing to do with you. I mean, the wolf knows I'm dangerous. And
how do
wolves-
they know you're dangerous? Are they having any interactions with other humans?
Wolves know this all across North America. I've only been able to find 2 documented bona fide cases where wolves have killed humans in North America in recent times. There was this one guy, young guy up in Saskatchewan several years ago. There was one woman in Alaska that apparently was killed by wolves. It almost never happens. They just know that people are dangerous. They've been persecuted. I mean, there were bounties on wolves. I think it's in their DNA now. You know, all wild animals, grizzly bears, they don't want anything to do with people 99.9% of the time.
It's interesting you saying that. Grizzly bears, where they're hunted, don't want anything to do with people.
Right.
They're having a real problem with grizzly bears in places like Montana, where they don't hunt them,
Right.
where they don't have any fear. Many, many generations of no fear of human beings, and you're getting a lot of maulings because of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be crazy about walking out in a national park where you're not allowed to bring a gun.
Yeah. Well, Montana in particular, they have a lot.
But
So-
in this case, the wolf wanted out of there. It walked up the other side of the ravine. I watched it. It was about 300-400 yards from me. When he got up to the top of the ridge, he stopped way, way up high above. I remember looking at him through binoculars, or maybe it was the scope of my rifle. I just remember him giving a yawn. He lay down on the ground when he knew he was safe way up there, and he just gave a yawn, and I could see his tongue. It was just like a dog. I could see him give this yawn like he had just climbed up this big mountain in about 10 minutes, you know. So I just walked around the cliff, went down in there, got that caribou. I actually made a backpack out of his rib cage to carry it home.
Wow.
And it was cold. It was like 25 below. That was pretty brutal getting that thing, you know, back to the camp from up on the mountain there.
How heavy was it?
I don't know. A lot of things I don't weigh, but I'd say a caribou like that probably weighs about 250 pounds, something like that. You know, I obviously don't take all of that weight at one time with me. I carry as much as I can.
Did you have a backpack that, like a pack frame?
I had a frame, and I just stuffed everything in the. I remember it was so cold, and I was so tired up there running up this mountain in the winter. And it's dark. It's dark up there all the time. There's no sun in the winter. I just remember getting the head off that thing, throwing the legs and stuff in the rib cage, and throwing it onto that frame I had. And it was all inside of the big rib cage. Still had the skin on it and everything.
Was the wolf watching the whole time?
He was up on top of the mountain. I wasn't paying close attention to him after that. I don't know how long he hung out up there.
I would think that you would want to keep an eye on that fucker.
He
He knows you're stealing his
I've done this
food.
other times. Wolves I spent a lot of times around the wolves. This has been a lot of times. When the snow conditions are just right, you can actually keep up with wolves, believe it or not. I've stayed with wolves all day long, going 8 or 10 miles. When the snow is deep enough, they start walking single file, and every wolf in the pack steps in exactly the same track. And their stride, when they slow down to a walk like that, is just right for me. I can step right in their tracks. I don't even need snowshoes.
Wow.
If there's less snow, you can't keep up with the wolf. You know, their normal gait, they're trotting. You can't even come close to that speed. But when the snow gets deep and they get single file, if you're in good shape, you can jog behind wolves all day long. And I followed wolves. I followed a pack of 12 wolves one time, 8 or 10 miles. They were hunting caribou right in front of me. There was another time I remember taking caribou meat away from a pack of wolves, which I didn't even see. They had killed the caribou, but you know, there's a lot of brush and different stuff around. I discovered it because ravens flew up off it. I went over there, and judging by the tracks, there were half a dozen wolves around. And I took that caribou that time, brought it home and ate it. But I had a lot of interactions over the years with the wolves, and I never had wolves act aggressive to me. I've had them act curious. I've had them act scared. I've had them act indifferent. I never had wolves act aggressive to me until that time, January 2012, when a pack of 20 wolves literally took after me out on the lake. And I did shoot 3 of those wolves.
And what was that about? Why do you think they were taking after you?
It was a very unusual situation. First of all, there were 20 wolves in one place. That's unheard of up there. That's totally unheard of. The largest pack of wolves I've ever heard a count of that far north was 17 wolves, and that was back in the 1970s. And usually there's 5, 6 wolves in a pack up there. It's a real hungry country. It's hard for them to feed themselves. If the pack gets bigger than that, they have to split up and go somewhere new. But I don't know what happened that year. I don't know if 2 packs combined. I don't know if the pack just grew to that size, but it was unheard of. Anyway, I'm up on a mountain. I look down at the lake. It's in January. It's just twilight in the middle of the day. I see this big brown spot out on the ice. I'm like, what the hell's that? It's like out in front of my cabin about 500 yards, this big brown spot. First I thought it was water overflow that comes up through the ice sometimes when you get a crack. I get out the binoculars, I'm looking, and holy cow. That's a giant pack of wolves that just took something down on the lake. I can see like one of them's breaking off, and then coming back over, and I realized what's going on. There was very little snow that year. Even though it was January, it had been cold since September, but very little precipitation. There was only about maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow, so I could literally run down the mountain. I was down at the lake within 20 minutes. And I went right to my cabin. I got my camera. I got my tripod. I'm like, this is phenomenal. I got to document this. And I start walking across the lake out to where they are to get pictures of this. So I get about 350 yards from these wolves. I still don't know what the animal is that they got there. And, you know, I can hear them. You can hear bones breaking and stuff. The wolves, you know, it's just amazing. Yeah. And I start taking pictures, and I run out of batteries. I'm like, oh, shit, I ran out of batteries. So I got to go back to the cabin. That's like 150 yards behind me, you know. And I turn around. I start walking back to the cabin. When I get about 30 yards or so from the cabin, I look back over my shoulder, and the whole goddamn pack of wolves is racing across the lake straight toward me. I'd never seen anything like it. I sprinted like Jesse Owens through the door of that cabin. I was only 30 yards from it. I turn and I look back out the window, and these wolves came right up into my yard. They were 50 yards from the front door, 20 wolves.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, this is unheard of. Wolves are usually hightailing it out of there when they see people. So, I get my new batteries. I get the camera set back up. I go back out. By the time I get back out in the yard, they're back over at this thing they've killed like 500 yards away. And I want to get more pictures of this. I got my rifle too, of course. So I start heading back over. When I get about 350 yards from them, I start taking more pictures. I got a great picture. You could pull it up maybe.
Yeah, let me see that.
It's in the notes section on my Facebook page. There's a story, an unusual occurrence with the wolves. Anyway, they're all eating, and I start taking pictures again. And after I take some pictures, first 1, then 2, then 3, the wolves, they're like, I can see they stop eating and they're looking at me. They're like 350 yards away, but I can just see that they notice that I'm back out there on the lake. And they're sizing me up kind of. And then I see some of them are just really slowly moving toward me, like walking a few steps and stopping. And I'm thinking, yeah, I got my rifle and everything, but there's a lot of wolves there. How do I know they're going to stop when I start shooting? You know? So I decided maybe it's best to just make a slow retreat. And I started backing up and walking back toward the cabin. And the wolves, it looked like they were slowly walking towards me as I'm walking toward the cabin. When I got about, if I remember right, it was 100 yards from the cabin, those wolves started galloping. They just, all 20 wolves started galloping towards me.
Oh, Jesus
that kill.
Christ. Oh, wow. Look at this picture.
Yeah, those wolves right there. They start galloping towards me, and I dropped that tripod right there where I was, and I was 100 yards from the cabin. They were 400 yards from me, and I ran as fast as I could for the cabin because I thought, hey, if I start shooting, what if they don't stop? The ones, it's 20 wolves there. I got 4 or 5 rounds of. If I had one in the chamber, I had 5 rounds of ammunition there. I ran for the cabin. I go in the door, and just like the time before, they're right there in my front yard. I look out, and they're 50 yards away. They're all milling around, 20 wolves. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. So, but I'm safe and sound in the cabin. So I just collect my thoughts. I'm like, man, it's time to teach these wolves a lesson. If I let those wolves leave now, they're going to think I'm just food. I run away when they see me.
Right.
You know, I could be out there in the night, in the dark, not even know wolves are around, and get ambushed by them or something. So I had to shoot some of those wolves. So I loaded up the gun, made sure everything was perfectly right, put some extra ammunition in my pocket, checked everything out. Okay, I'm set to go out there with this gun and talk to these wolves about this situation. And I go back out, and they were back at the moose. It turned out to be a moose they'd killed. They were back over there at the kill. So I thought, well, it'd be a lot safer if I shot from close to the cabin, rather than go out there on the open ice. So I'll just see if I can lure them back over here. And I started running back and forth right in front of my cabin on the ice just to get their attention. And sure enough, it worked. That whole pack of 20 wolves started racing across that lake at a full gallop straight toward me. I couldn't believe it. I was right in front of my cabin. I'd just run back and forth like 50 yards out to my little water hole in the ice and back to the cabin a few times, and they just started running right at me. So I sat right down there on the bank, on the shore, right, 15 feet in front of my porch, and started shooting. I think if I remember right, the first one I hit was 264 yards. I measured it all off the next day. It was kind of interesting just checking out the tracks and seeing what had happened. I hit 3 of them. Yeah.
What happened when one got hit?
They stopped at the closest tracks to me were about 40 yards. When it was happening, it was happening so fast. I was just sitting down, braced, shooting. I remember reloading after I shot 5 times. It all happened so fast. But then the next day when I had time, I went out there and looked at all the tracks and measured everything and sized up the situation, figured out where I had hit different wolves and stuff. And I wrote that all down. That's what I was mentioning in the notes section there on my Facebook page, that story, because I wanted, when it was fresh in my mind, to really have the details, because I knew right then that something happened to me that doesn't really happen to people. I mean, have a pack of wolves come after you is a very unusual occurrence. You could read all over the place that wolves don't attack humans. I've read that many times.
But they have.
At least
particularly historically.
Historically,
the whole Little Red Riding Hood, that's all because they were trying to warn children about wolves.
Yeah.
Now, when you found these wolves and when you started shooting and you hit one, did the other ones freak out? Did they realize what's going on?
They started putting on the brakes, but like I said, the first wolf I hit was over 250 yards. I think it was 264 yards, something like that, from me. And some of the tracks came about 40 to 50 yards from me before they had stopped. They were doing U-turns, you could see, in front of me. They were all just milling around. When I was reloading, I just remember seeing all these wolves milling around in front of me, like running around in circles, and I was like, holy cow, and I'm reloading. And I remember shooting one more time as they were headed away, but they all took off. They headed into the woods, and one of the wolves that I had hit was paraplegic, but he was still going on 2 legs. So I ran in.
Spined him.
Yeah, I ran in the cab. The other two had just dropped immediately. One of them was hit right in the head. But I ran in the cabin, grabbed my 22 because I didn't want to put a big 30-06 hole in this wolf that was paraplegic. And I chased him down, caught up with him, shot him with 22. Then I could hear all the other wolves howling and howling. They're like, probably almost half a mile away from me by then. They were up in the woods on the other side of the lake. And I just ran over to that, what they had killed. And this was the first time I saw it. It was a 1.5-year-old bull moose. And it was still all there. The legs were still on it. I got pictures of it and stuff. They had just started eating it not long before I started
Are
photographing
the pictures
it.
on your Facebook page?
Not of that moose. They put those on LBZ, I think.
What's LBZ?
Life Below Zero.
Oh.
When they showed that story, that was way back. That was like 6 years ago. That was one of my first stories. That's a different moose. I got charged by one out there one time.
So when you find the wolves that you did shoot, and you shot and killed 3 of them,
Yeah.
do you eat them?
I ate some of those just because I was low on food. I don't like to eat wolf meat if I can help it.
Yeah. So what other animals are you looking for?
A lot. Like we were talking about primates. I'm going to Borneo to look for an animal called the Miller's grizzled langur. It's a type of monkey. I just got back. I was looking for an extinct caiman in the Amazon.
An extinct caiman.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and the caimans that you see?
Just a different species, just like there's many types of crocodile, there's many types of caiman. You have saltwater crocodiles, Nile crocodiles, same thing with caiman. And I was looking for one with a very weird morphological variant. It looks very, very different to any other.
What's different about it?
It's got a very elongated snout. If you've ever seen a gharial, if you know what that is, a type of crocodile with this long, crazy nose, it's like the alligator family, the caiman family version of that. This really long, skinny face, super light, super yellow coloration, just very different. Last time one was seen was 52 years ago, and then they had one in a zoo that died in the 80s, and nobody's found one since. So just really cool. And so, yeah, the list goes on. Last year I did leopards, and I did wolves in Newfoundland, and a bunch of really interesting stuff. So it's fun, man. You love it. You should come with. I'll talk to Animal Planet.
Scared. I'm such a pussy. What about giant sloths? What are your feelings on those?
So I've had probably 3 years of research into giant sloths, because Manapuguri, I believe is how it's said. It's the South American name for giant sloths. I don't want to give away too much info before I get to do a chance at looking for it. But after all the research I've compiled, there is, in my opinion, one location on Earth. It's in high Peru, where nobody goes. It's a bowl of mountains, impenetrable. The only way in is a helicopter in the center. To me, that that bowl is going to be like a primordial Eden. All of the cultures surrounding it have old stories of giant sloths. They all have different names for it, but they all have these stories of these giant sloths, right? They were all hunted to extinction. However, they've handed down these traditions. But nobody, except for, a tiny handful of far out tribal people, have ever really got into this impenetrable bowl. And I think if they're anywhere, they're in there.
Wow. I saw a documentary once about this scientist that was essentially risking his reputation trying to find a giant sloth somewhere, maybe in the Amazon, somewhere.
Probably Peruvian Amazon. That's where I'm thinking too.
And he kept talking to people that had seen it, and he never could get a hold of it, but he had been there for years.
Isn't that crazy, though? Why?
Yeah.
What if you're a little Amazonian villager, you don't read, you don't have TV, there's no reason to make up science fiction, why say you've seen it?
Because you like to fuck with white people?
Could be.
Get that dude with his stringy hair. Hey, man. Yeah, I seen that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dinosaurs? Fuck yeah. Come on, I'll take you. 5
Good
days
point.
in,
Yeah.
you're exhausted, covered with mosquito bites. He's like, any day now. We're almost there.
Just over the next hill.
He's just going to wait for you to fucking rot out. That would be a mean man.
That's a mean guy. That's a mean guy.
Leave you on a log. All right, buddy. Pat you on the back. This is the last spot for you.
And I'll be taking this. Yeah.
I'll take your binoculars.
Right.
And, there's no reason for them to lie, but that's like the thing that people say about everything. Why would someone lie? Well, I don't know. People lie for a bunch of weird reasons.
People do it.
People are crazy. They make shit up.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like you have to take an eyewitness report of an extinct creature or a zoo crypto creature with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But you still have to take it. Do you know what I mean? You still have to bank it and consider it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way I go. I always talk to people, but then I do the biology, right? I track, I put the cameras out, I bait, I scent, I do all of that stuff to try and get evidence of my own, because just going with eyewitness reports is, like you say, it's nothing.
Has there ever been any eyewitness reports that are just too ridiculous? Where you're like,
Oh, for sure.
like what?
Oh man, loads. I mean, like, talk about the thylacine, for instance. There was a guy that we met there who's like, yeah, there's thylacine everywhere. They run around with the black cats. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, there's black panthers too. They like hang out together.
Black
and I'm
Panthers in Australia?
Exactly. That I made the same face you did. So I'm like, okay, tell me more. And he's like, yeah, they hang out over there. They're behind the trash heap. They jump around with black panthers.
Oh, they're just fucking with you.
And I'm like, well, that's the thing. I'm like, you're either crazy or you're completely fucking with me. And I'm not sure which one it is, because your eyes are telling me crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many different pockets in the world are there like that basin that you said you got to get helicoptered into?
There's a few. There's a few. Yeah, you'd be surprised, because, we're here, we're in a city, we're so used to our modern conveniences, but there are totally untouched pieces of the world still.
Well, do you know David Cho, the artist?
I don't.
He went to the Congo, I think it was the Congo, to look for a dinosaur.
No way.
It was a really early Vice piece back when Vice was first starting out. And David is one of the more eccentric people that I know. He's a multimillionaire, made a shitload of money gambling, and also he made a shitload of money because he Facebook? He painted Facebook.
What does that mean? Like the wall?
Yeah, the inside. They hired him to paint, do these murals, and they gave him stock. And that stock wound up being worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And so now he's just this freaky, super talented artist who is just doing weird shit. And one of the things they did is like, hey, man, you want to go look for a dinosaur? He's like, fuck yeah, I'll go.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you,
Yeah. But there's this video of him. I want to say he was like 25 at the time, too. I think he was pretty young.
Super young.
Yeah, look at him there.
Oh, yeah.
So he's in the jungle in search of a fucking dinosaur. And it was one of those things where the locals were saying, hey, there's a dinosaur in the Congo.
Right.
Which doesn't totally make sense, but
who knows, right? Why not investigate it, kind of thing?
But I mean, how big of an area would there have to be for there to be a species that we are not aware of? Like, how big of an area?
Oh, I mean, it's a generic question, because we discover, you'd have to look up the numbers, but it's like 2,000 new species a year.
But
right?
little stuff?
But mostly little stuff. There's an animal discovered, most recently there's an animal called the saula. It's an animal that I'm actually working on later this year, and it is an antelope. Like, they call it the Asian unicorn, because for generations people have been talking about this Asian unicorn, and Western world's like, yeah, whatever. And then finally somebody went down there into the Laotian mountains and was like, here's a skull and here's a skin. And they're like, holy shit, this is a real thing. Whoa. And this is like in a not populated, but there's plenty of people living there. You know what I mean? This isn't like the middle of nowhere. This is where there's villages and tribes and people, and they're like, here's this animal, here's a skin, here's a skull. And since then, I think one trail camera photo has ever surfaced. Like, nobody's ever successfully documented it, because it's just this incredibly elusive animal. Like, whether it has super sensory organs, hearing, sight, smell, whatever it is, or it's just super low density in population, nobody really knows. But this animal, this huge, antelope, has been around forever. Little tribal people have been talking about it in like a mythological way, the same way they would talk about dinosaurs in the Congo. And the Western world's going, sure, buddy, whatever you say. And then somebody finally goes down there, does an expedition just like David did, and goes, oh, it turns out it's here.
Wow. What is it about animals where we're so fascinated by the ones that might not be real or that might be hidden? Like, what is it about them? I mean, people love to study giraffes and things that are absolutely real, but they also have a even more compelling need to search for things that are not quite sure. They're not quite sure if they exist or not.
I don't know, man. I think it's human nature to want to know more, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, not everybody, you see a giraffe, you're like, it's real, I know it, banked it, right? Some people go to the extreme, they study every aspect of it. But as a general populace, I feel like once we know something's there, we want to know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Like, why is it that we're so fascinated with it? I don't know the answer.
I think it's probably a side effect of our compulsion for innovation. Like human beings are constantly trying to find out new secrets and find out new discoveries and invent new things and explore new worlds.
Yep.
I mean, this is just something that's been a part of human nature forever. This desire to improve and to go further, find the next best spot, find the new thing. And then I think that also works with animals. I think we have this desire to find animals that we didn't know are real or weren't sure are real.
Well, knowledge is the foundation of that, right? To go to a new planet, we have to have the knowledge of how to get there, right? To go to a new habitat, we have to know what's there. And I think maybe that's kind of that deep-rooted desire is like we need to know about this thing in order to understand if we can innovate off